right, shalom, shalom. Before we begin, we want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Rakah Kodash, and double honors to the apostles and the elders of the great millstone, from which he lenders true peace and blessings to the house of David, doing his work in all righteousness, truth, and sincerity. And we want to say shalom to the hopeful elect. Shalom. I just wanted to bring out a lesson, kind of land back on, it's been probably about a week and a half ago where brother's been making lessons about that pastor. I believe his name is Terry Anderson. Saying that there's no more prophets, and if there's anybody calling himself a prophet, run away from him. But the scriptures tell us otherwise, man. The scriptures say what that he has raised up prophets in Babylon again, man. And we'll get that, Lord's will. But we want to go ahead and start off right here in the book of get that, brother, in the book of Luke.
This is Luke chapter 1, starting at verse 68, and it reads, "Blessed be Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai, power of Israel."
Right, power of Israel, man. He's the God of Israel, the Israelites, so-called Negroes, so-called Hispanics, and so-called Native Americans. Go on, brother.
For he has visited and redeemed his people.
See, a possessive pronoun, man. His people. Okay.
He hath raised up an horn of salvation for us in the house of his servant David.
Right. Keep going.
As he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets, which have been since the world began.
See, and out of the mouth of his holy prophets since the world began. See, all the way back to what the garden in Genesis in the cool of day. Go ahead and grab it, brother, in Genesis. Can we grab it?
No, I got it.
All right.
This is Genesis chapter 3 and
verse 6.
Yep, 6, and it reads, "And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and the tree to be desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit thereof and did eat."
Right now, Christians they'll say it was an apple. Okay, but that's speaking about the philosophies, the doctrines of that time, man. See, and the trees represented these other nations. Okay, and it's the same. It's no different, man. That chief enemy at that time was the serpent. Okay, which is now what the spirit that Esau has in him. It's the same spirit. Okay, going back all the way back to the garden, man.
And gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat.
He took in the doctrines. He took in the philosophies. Okay, that they were they pretty much put a spell on them, man. Because if you go back to that word serpent, it goes to a diviner, a witch. Okay, and what do they use in today's world, man? Witchcraft, man. Everything is programmed into, especially our people. Okay, all people, but especially our people, the Israelites. Again, so-called Negroes, so-called Hispanics, and so-called Native Americans. Like we always say, those that look like other nations too, man. If your spirit resonates with this truth, it's because the Lord put the spirit upon you because you're an Israelite.
So moving on.
Yeah.
This is Isaiah 30.
Was that 8? That was 8.
Oh, you wanted me to go to 8?
Huh.
This is verse 7. "And the eyes of them both were open, and they knew that they were naked."
Right. They knew they were naked. They knew what? That they were in sin, man. It wasn't because they didn't have clothes on. It's because they knew they had disobeyed the Yahweh, man. Keep going.
"And they sewed fig leaves together and made themselves aprons."
Right. So they took a covering, okay, of these other nations, man. They started following the same way our people are doing today, man. They take a covering, okay, of these other nations, following their falsehoods.
Verse 8, "And they heard the voice of Yahweh power, walking in the garden in the cool of the day."
Right, they heard the voice of the Lord, who's the voice of the Lord? That's the prophets. Okay, but like I said, going back to that covering, you want to get that real quick, brother? Well, let me get that.
Back to the first
Isaiah?
one I read?
No, Isaiah.
Oh.
Just to kind of go over that covering. You got it, brother?
Isaiah 30?
Yeah, start at the top.
Yeah, this is Isaiah 30 and verse 1, and it reads, "Woe to the rebellious children, saith Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai, that take counsel, but not of me,
Right.
and that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit.
See, take a covering of a covering, but not of the Lord's Spirit. Okay, but coming in the falsehoods of the heathen nations, man, like we do today. Well, those that were now we're out of the world. We try to do the best we can. We don't celebrate these so-called holidays. We don't celebrate our birthdays. We pretty much we separate ourselves, okay, from the things of this world, man, to the best of our ability.
We don't celebrate Christianity anymore.
All that.
We pulled that covering off of them.
Exactly.
Those are those coverings that it's referring to.
Right.
When they covered themselves in false knowledge, in pseudoscience, so to speak.
Right. So that's what that's talking about. But it's what it says, the prophets were out there, the voice of the Lord in the cool of the day. Going back to the prophets, there was prophets going all the way to the beginning, man.
Yeah, what we read in the first place, since the world began.
Right.
So yeah, those prophets have always been, and he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets, which have been since the world began.
So the prophets have always been here, man. Well, so what are you talking about, Terry Kennedy?
Right.
and they're here again. They're here today. Okay, I'll just grab that, brother. Grab that in Jeremiah 29 and start at 11, brother.
Jeremiah 29.
Right. Yeah, so when this stupid pastor saying that there's no more prophets, man, he's lying. Okay, he's bringing out falsehoods. He's taking on the coverings of the world, man. Okay, he's not taking on the covering of the spirit of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yoshai. Okay, he's doing his own thing according to what the rulers of this world, man, which is Satan, coming in the spirit of Satan, man.
This is Jeremiah 29 and verse 11, and it reads, "For I know the thoughts that I think towards you, saith Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai."
Right. And Christians love this scripture.
Thoughts of peace and not of evil.
But who was he talking to? He was talking to the Israelites that were coming out of the Babylonian captivity. Okay, and where are we at now? We're in spiritual Babylon, man.
To give you an expected end. Verse 12, "Then shall ye call upon me, and ye shall go and pray unto me, and I will hearken unto you."
And who's doing that? Okay, the men of the Lord. Okay, and those that are taking heed, okay, to what's coming out of the mouths of the men of the Lord. Okay, because of what? It's not us that are speaking. It's Yahweh Ba'Shem Yoshai. Let me get this real quick. Just hold that right there. This is Matthew 10 and 20. It says, "For it is not ye that speak, but the Spirit of your Father which speaketh in you." You see that? So that our words it's not our words. Our words are the words of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yoshai, man. Let's make that point real quick.
Let's see, verse 12. "Then shall ye call upon me." I'm just repeating 12 again.
Right.
"And ye shall go and pray unto me, and I will hearken unto you." Verse 13, "And ye shall seek me and find me."
Right. And again, who's doing that? Okay, the men of the Lord. Okay, and those that are taking heed to the words that are coming out. Okay, from the men. Okay, through the ministry of the prophets.
Verse 13, "Then ye shall search for me with all your heart,
right?
And I will be found of you, saith Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. And I will turn away your captivity, and I will gather you from all the nations, and from all the places whither I have driven you, saith Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. And I will bring you again unto the place whence I caused you to be carried away captive."
Why? Because we were all back in the Holy Land at one time. Okay, but through what? The scattering, okay,
disobedience.
The diaspora, okay, the diaspora, however you want to say it. Okay, now what? We're here in Babylon the Great, man, serving out punishment, correction. Okay, it says when the Lord turns away our captivity, meaning when He takes us out of the hands of this devil, man. Scripture says to get this day we're in our captivity, man, subject to payments. Okay, keep going.
Verse 15.
Yes, this is the point.
Because ye have said, Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai hath raised us up prophets in Babylon.
See that, and that was then. What the scripture says, what was then is now. There's nothing new under the sun. So of course there's prophets again. Now, do we know if we're prophets? No, we don't really know. Okay, we don't know who's who. Okay, but what does the scripture? Got that real quick, brother? In Romans 12:1. Let me get that real quick. You got it? Yeah, so we don't know. But what? The Lord said what? Do this work, man. See, and that's what we're doing. See, but we know through the scriptures, yeah, there is prophets again. Now, again, we don't know who's who. You know, we pray we be amongst that number. Okay, but the Lord said what? Do his work.
This is Romans 12 and verse 1, and it reads, I beseech you therefore, brethren, by the mercies of the Most High, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto the Most High.
Right? And how do we do that? How do we make our body a living sacrifice? By coming out, okay, highways and byways, highways and hedges, you know, even coming, to the park, man. This the people, this is a pretty popular park, man.
This is a byway.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was listening to Apostle, I believe it was Gabar earlier, who ran off the definition of it.
Right.
You know?
Oh yeah.
And it literally breaks down. I believe it was Apostle Gabar, but yeah, it breaks down to those roads that aren't on the main road. Right. You know?
Yeah, you got them bug outs saying, oh, they're hiding under gazebos, and man, you guys are just bugging out, man.
Which is your reasonable service.
Right, it's our reasonable service. That's why we're out here. Now, whether we're the prophets or not, hey, we're not going to know until that day. Scripture says what? And then that day, they should know who are my chosen. Roughly
prophets among them.
Yeah. Then they will know there was a prophet among them. So we don't know, but what we're doing our reasonable service. Let me get this real quick. You want to brother grab Daniel? Let's go to precept.
No, I was just going to get into the rest of them. Which one?
Daniel 9 and go to the 9th verse. I'm gonna grab this real quick in the book. This is the book of Hosea, chapter 12, verse 10. It says, "I have also spoken by the prophets, and I have multiplied visions and used similitudes by the ministry of the prophets." See, and that's the same way the Lord is working today, man. It's no different. The Lord said, "I do not change, man." Okay, so what's different now? Nothing. Okay, you even have these stupid Christians, okay, calling themselves apostles and prophets, but now that the men of the Lord, okay, are out, okay, bringing out this truth, now all of a sudden there's no more prophets. Madness, man.
This is Daniel 9, and you want me to start at verse 10?
No, 9.
At 9. To Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai, our power, being merciful and forgiveness, though we have rebelled against him.
Right.
Neither have we obeyed the voice of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai, our power.
See, keep going.
To walk in his laws, which he set before us by his servants, the prophets.
You see that? The voice of the Lord, hey, by his servants, the prophets. See, that's who the voice of the Lord is. So what's the difference? What's the difference today? Okay, the Lord is using prophets, okay, to bring out this truth, man. And that's just the way it is. Whether you like it or you don't, man. It's just because somebody looks like you, and now all of a sudden they don't have the truth. No, the truth is out here, man. And it begins with what? The apostles, the elders of Great Millstone, okay, and the men on down, and those that are teaching like-minded doctrine, the 100% doctrine, okay, not going off, on their, their own agendas, man.
And just to go along with this, Salaki, hey, Israel, you've always been, it's not been these other nations that killed the prophets. It was you Israelites. You the ones that always were the ones killing the prophets. This is Matthew 23 and 31, and it reads, "Wherefore ye being witnesses unto yourselves
Mm.
that ye are the children of them which killed the prophets.
Right.
So it's you Israelites who never liked hearing what you was hearing and begin to conspire and be in deceitfulness in order to murder them. Like, once you killed them, that would change
Mm.
inevitably what they were saying to you. But
What-
what they've been saying, what the prophets have always been saying, is coming from on high.
That nothing's changed.
Nothing has changed.
Nothing's changed. What did they say? Let their blood be upon us.
Come.
Let his blood be upon us.
Yeah.
Meaning the blood of Yahweh Shai, man, who the world literally calls Jesus Christ.
And not only was he the son of the Most High, but he too was a prophet.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, that was your last straw, so to speak. So now that blood has been on your children, and you are your father. So that it's literally been back on your own heads.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yep. Got another precept? You got one? If not, brother, go.
No, I'll wait because I got one, but it's in the list, so I'll wait.
Okay, grab Jeremiah 1 and 5.
All right. This is Jeremiah and 1 and verse 5, and it reads, "For the Most High doth lock it." Okay. No, that was still changing. "Before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee."
Right. This is speaking of Jeremiah. The Lord said, I already knew thee, man, before he even was formed in the belly. Okay, before he was even conceived, man.
Uh-huh. "And before thou camest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee, and I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations."
So when the Lord knew Jeremiah in the spirit world, he already deemed that spirit to what? To be a prophet.
Gave him his assignment.
That was it. Like I said, there's nothing really hard about it. It's the same way the men have been raised up today. Again, now whether we are those men or not, we don't know, but we know for a fact the prophets are out. Okay, whether we are them or not. But like we said earlier, this is our reasonable service, man.
Hey, like you were saying, if we are them or not, we're following them now.
Yeah.
We're listening to what the prophets are saying now.
Right.
We're no longer going against the prophets, And as the brother said, we're just trying to do our reasonable service. We've come to the conclusion already.
Mm-hmm.
Fear the Most High and keep His commandments.
Right.
That's our duty.
Let me bring this out real quick, because Isaiah said something similar. Look, Isaiah 49 and 5, it says, "And now saith the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, that formed me from the womb, look, to be his servant." Okay? That's the only reason why Isaiah was formed in the womb, to be what? A servant of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Look, it says to bring Jacob again to him, says, "Though Israel be not gathered, yet shall I be glorious in the eyes of the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, and my power shall be my strength." And he said, "It is a light thing that thou shouldest be my servant." Look, it was a light thing. The Lord said it was nothing, okay, to raise up Isaiah to be a servant of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Look, it says to raise up the tribes of Jacob and to restore the preserved of Israel. Preserved going into what? The elect, man. He said it's nothing. This is nothing to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. It's a light thing. Look, I will also give thee for a light to the Gentiles. This is the Israelite foreigners, man.
Oh, you mean that ain't everybody?
It's not everybody.
Oh man.
It says that
again.
thou mayest be my salvation unto the end of the earth. Why? Because it's clearly written that Israelites were scattered, man. That's all that's talking about. It's not something that's complicated, okay? Or like the Christians like to say, now everybody's included. No. Or now that the Christian church, that's the true church of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Okay, that's not written anywhere.
Yeah, and these Christians, they know of the history of Israel. They know Israel was, dispersed. They know they was sent into all nations. They know Israel when you were excommunicated from the congregation, they didn't even consider you Israel anymore. But then the Gentiles is everybody. Yet that was never in any testament that all nations,
No.
you know.
Yeah. Matter of fact, you said they are like unto spittle, man. That's what
Well, hey, you know what I say as far as that's concerned. You put the apocrypha in, that means all you other nations got to get out. You got to get rid of it. But in Isaiah
all
also,
right. Grab it real quick,
you
brother.
know.
Isaiah 40 and start off at verse 15. Yeah, because he says the same thing, man. Same thing that the Apocrypha says. But yet they say, well, it's not canon.
Well, yeah, that's Old Testament,
Yeah.
you know, so they can ignore it because it's Old Testament. Say Isaiah 40 and
15.
this is Isaiah 40 and then verse 15, and it reads, "Behold, the nations are as a drop of a bucket."
So the nations are as a drop of a bucket. If you got a bucket full of water or whatever, and it's just a drop falls out, you're not even gonna miss it.
You don't even know it fell out.
Exactly. Insignificant, man. That's what these nations are to Yahweh Bashem Yoshai. Okay?
And are counted as the small dust of the balance.
Small dust of a balance. You have a balance, that weighs things,
Yeah,
a scale, and you got a little piece of dust on it, you don't even see it.
Doesn't change the weight in any form or fashion. You know? Yeah. Behold, he has taken up the isles as a very little thing.
Right,
And Lebanon, the whole area,
right.
is not sufficient to burn, nor the beast thereof sufficient for a burnt offering.
Right, right. So the Lebanon was known for its trees. Well known for its trees. So you can't even use all the trees in Lebanon, okay?
And then all the beasts,
Yeah, go ahead, brother.
yeah, all the people,
Right,
basically Lebanon,
right.
everything included, from the border of all of that.
Right.
It's not sufficient.
Right. No sacrifice. There's no sacrifice sufficient, okay, for these nations, man.
Like O Tyre Sidon, will you render me a recompense?
Mm.
It's not enough, man. It's not enough for you people. There's a billion East Indians and a billion Chinese, and it ain't enough for y'all. There's no recompense for what you've done. You know? Continuing, verse 17, all nations before him are as nothing.
Right, as nothing, man. These nations are nothing. So if you're not an Israelite, okay, you're nothing to the Lord.
And are counted to him less than nothing and vanity.
Less than nothing to vanity. You just pretty much, because this is what the Lord's movie. You're just extra the movie. You watch a movie, you get the main characters, you got those people walking around the streets or whatever. That's all you are.
You know,
Nothing.
Or better analysis, you're the stranger that used to beam down to the planet in Star Trek. You know, where he knew who wasn't coming back. And Jim would go, and Bones would go, and Scotty, and Spock. And who's that guy over there? Oh, he's not coming back. That's you guys.
Huh?
You know, you're like, there's no value to you, you know?
Right.
That's why you fought so hard to teach Israel this pseudo equality, because you other nations know who we are, and you've always known. Israel has always, you're not equal. We're not equal to you.
Not even close.
No matter, even in our lowest state, if you're counted as nothing, even in our lowest state, that's why you steady have to teach Israel. You're equal. There's equal. We're all equal. Though we can see we're not treated equally, but that's what you steady claiming. That's not for our benefit. That's for yours.
Yeah. Yeah, man, Jake, and that's all the tribes, man. They're better than all these nations and everything and anything, man. Better fighters, better lovers. It was a movie he said, some women love fighters, some women love lovers, because I happen to be both. I forget where that was from.
That's funny.
Yeah. Well, let me grab this real quick. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 28, verse 8. This is the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence. See, and you got the men of the Lord again, okay, the prophets, whoever they may be, okay, speaking these words, man. Okay, warning you of all these things. did we not just go through a pestilence and still kind of going through it? Because we never know, man. From day to day, you know, boom, it's here again. Okay, we gotta choose our words a little wisely, because they just struck, like I said, Mother Page, but and they consider this a great kingdom, man. The land of the free, the home of the brave. Okay, which is all bullshit.
Right. When they came up with that slogan, there was people here that weren't free, and it's not bravery when you give a nation of people smallpox blankets, or when you have to sign treaties, over 400 of them,
and break them all,
because you steady getting your ass handed to you. It's not bravery when you wait till the braves go out on a war party or to hunt and come in and kill the women and children. It's not bravery, boots over bullets. There's nothing about your history that resembles bravery.
See, that's what it's written. Psalms 137.
Yeah.
You grab that real quick, brother. Grab that quick, just because I don't want to butcher it. 137 and want me to get it?
I get it.
You got it? Yeah. 137 and start at 7. Because you said boots over bullets, man. And they literally were doing this, man.
Yeah.
So what do you think is going to come back? Not just to Esau, but all these nations. Okay, but it's going to begin with Esau. Because why? Because he's that chief enemy, man.
This is Psalms 137 and verse 7, and it reads, "Remember, O Yahweh, the children of Edom."
Right, which is the so-called white people.
"In the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, raise it." That means burn it down, burn it down, even to the foundation thereof.
Right, and you go to the book of First Esdras, in the 4th chapter, it tells you the Edomites burned it down, man.
Hey, and going back to that cowardness, it's not bravery to be sitting in Utah, flying a drone in Pakistan, blowing up all kind of other, different people. That's not bravery. Real men of war don't consider that bravery. Your punk ass sitting somewhere in the States flying a drone that's killing and murdering people indiscriminately. Real men of war don't consider snipers bravery. You just back there somewhere hidden way in the back somewhere, but in America they glorify you up and give you movies and shows. Medals, Oh, he killed 20 people from a distance of 1 mile. Well, nobody could get at him. Or they'd have lit his ass on fire. You Americans, you go into war with the top technology when you actually do go into the battlefield against somebody with sticks and stones, and you consider land of the bullshit. And you know it.
Yeah, keep going, brother, on that. There's a couple more verses. That's Psalm 137. Yeah, you said boots over bullets, so I just wanted to get that up.
O daughter of Babylon.
See, O daughter of Babylon. See, and that just what? That just means what? Edom and Babylon, daughter of Babylon, synonymous, man. There's no way around it.
Yeah. Who art to be destroyed.
That's written, man. Babylon the Great's gonna go down.
And this is that verse that lady was talking about.
Right.
You know what I mean? So she read the verses prior to getting to that.
Oh yeah.
And then, oh no, happy shall he be that rewardeth thee as thou hast served us. So there's a correlation there. Gator bait. You know what I mean? Taking our babies and doing all kinds, even now. With this island that just got forgotten about. Nobody's talking about it. Like, they shut the island down after they got rid of dude. And who really knows what went down with that?
Right.
But none of the people that were on that island are held accountable for anything.
Right.
And how many people's another instance. The babies that you separated from these people coming up from the southern border. How many families have lost? Did you just? We don't know. I'm sorry. We lost your child. Really? Then the record was what? 30,000 or 3,000 kids lost.
Yeah.
How do you lose?
Man.
a human being.
No, they ain't losing. They know
You ain't
exactly.
lose
They
shit.
know exactly
You sacrificed
what they're
them.
doing.
You know?
They're doing their dirty ass bullshit, and then
Right.
doing more dirty bullshit.
Can't let that child come back into society. It might rat you out. So, you know, you got to do what you got to do. Verse 9. This is what the brother wants. Happy shall he be that taketh and dasheth thy little ones against the stone.
Right.
You know?
Go ahead.
No, speak.
I'll say, see, and that's what people don't like. They don't like it, but that's clearly written.
Right.
What did she say? It was kind of like a metaphor or whatever she said it was. No, this is literal. This is going to happen.
Because you know, hey, you gotta go back to 8 to get that understanding. Reward thee as thou hast served us.
Right.
You devils know what you did.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you fight so hard to there. We're all equal. We're all the same. You're no. You know, I hate that stupid ass saying. You're dividing us. You fucking idiots. In order for something to be divided, it has to have at some point been together. You can't divide something that's never been together.
Right.
You devils fought blood and tears to keep us from receiving any type of emancipation.
Mm-hmm.
Hell, he wasn't even free. You don't, man, that ain't freedom. Emancipation ain't freedom. It's exactly what it says. It's transfer of personal property to state property.
Right.
You know?
That's all it is.
And when you got a dumbed down civilization, you can convince them of anything. It's free now. But you was free 2 years ago, but there's a reason why you celebrate Juneteenth. Because for 2 years, wasn't nobody telling them things. You know? You've been emancipated. What's that mean, boss? Fuck, man. And you niggas celebrate it like it's this great deed, you know?
Yep.
Bunch of bull.
Right.
Fuck.
No, but see, these are the things, okay, that are being brought out, man. By who? By the prophets. See, and that's the reason why you don't want to acknowledge that there's prophets, because you don't like what's coming out of the scriptures.
Yeah.
Okay, you people don't like it.
And that's why they're trying Shalakia. That's why they're trying hard too to bring this Christianity doctrine back into the limelight, because they know Christianity avoids the scriptures. Christianity avoids the scriptures like the plague. And when they do get into the scriptures, they keep it as vague as possible, and they only base their scriptures off of a John 3:16 doctrine. Like if Christians could rewrite this whole book, it would only be John 3:16 from cover to cover. Because the rest of the scriptures condemns you. You can't put John 3 or John 17:9 in there, because now that confuses the whole issue.
Right.
You know, you can't put John 3:14, 15 in there. No, you can't do it. Because now you got to ask yourself, well, who did Moses lift up the serpent in the wilderness to?
Right.
You know, you can't put, only thing you can use is John 3:15. Because who's Nicodemus and who is the conversation about? You know, you Christians, man. You know, hey, you definitely can't put Genesis in the scriptures. And the flood, you can't put the Israelites trip from Egypt to the promised land in the scriptures. How many times did that all-loving God tear Israel a new one?
Right.
You know? And one of the devilish things, Moses, why didn't he walk into the promised land? Because the Most High required what had happened at that rock.
Right. He didn't give Yahweh reverence, man.
Right. Just that one time. You know? And the Most High loved Moses.
Oh yeah.
You know? He still received his, but still.
Well, if you can receive it, Moses is who? King David, man. He said, after a man after my own heart, man.
Much is given, much is required. You know? Hey.
Yeah.
But you Christians don't pay attention to the God you claim to serve. You've been taught that bubblegum and lollipop theory and you ran with it because it sounded and it smelled good to you. But the aftertaste is rancid. It's foul, you know?
Right. Well, that's just it. All these things are reasons why they don't want to acknowledge the prophets, man.
Right.
They don't want to acknowledge that the prophets have been raised up again, okay, to bring out the truth, okay, of the Holy Scriptures, man. Okay, this is being taught like it's never been taught before. Okay, and it's been going on for decades now. But how much more now, man? I mean, Israelites are popping up like it tells me what in that scripture, man. Like
Yeah.
I don't want to butcher it. Was that grab that real quick, brother. It's Isaiah, what is it, 44 or 43? 44 and 3, I believe.
Isaiah 44 and 3.
Right. Like willows under the water court, something like that. Is it 44 and 3? I don't want to butcher it.
Pour water off the
That's it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
4. This is Isaiah 44. I'm going to start at 3.
Mhm.
I'm going to start at 1.
Mm.
Yet now hear, O Jacob, my servant, and Israel, whom I have chosen. Context. Because,
Yeah.
you context.
Right.
Read that again.
Israel, who I have chosen, man.
Yet hear now, O Jacob. And what was Jacob's name changed to? And Israel, whom I have chosen. Thus saith Yahweh, that made thee and formed thee from the womb, which will help thee. Fear not, O Jacob, my servant, and thou Yeshurun, whom I have chosen.
Right.
For I will pour water upon him that is thirsty, and floods upon the dry ground. I will pour my spirit upon his seed, and my blessing upon thine offspring. And they shall spring up as among the grass, as willows by the water courses.
See, that's the raising up of Israel, man. The dry bones, okay, coming back to life. Okay, that's all it is. And that's happening. But again, and you don't think out of all these that are being raised up, there's prophets? There is. It's just you people don't want to acknowledge it. Okay, that's why you deny it. Why? Because you don't want to hear things that are coming out from the scriptures. They all want to believe in they say God, okay, Jesus, but then when the scriptures come out, no, I don't mean that. They don't mean that.
And it's the case of too. You Negroes want to see this place continue. You actually think this gonna go down the same way Rome did, where you took over and you ran Rome as the Byzantine for 1,000 years. That's not what's written in the scriptures. This place is coming into its destruction time.
What you said, brother? You said the Byzantine was when Jacob.
After
that was
right,
when
yeah,
Jacob-
that's what I said. Jake thinks that they're gonna
okay.
rule this place like they did in Rome. When Rome, after the Roman Empire went down,
Right.
the new Holy Roman Empire
Mhm.
was run by Jake. And that's how a lot of them, when you look at their mentality, they're thinking this place is going to continue. They want to see America continue and thrive.
Mm.
But hey, the scripture said we would have healed Babylon, but it can't be healed.
Not be healed.
There's no balm. There's nothing that can be done for this place. It's on its way out on a permanent basis. And then there's no Rome 2.5, 3.0, none of that. This is it.
This is it.
The kingdom is after this. And I don't know why you Jakes wouldn't want that, but what you understand is that your wicked ways can't continue in the kingdom. And that's why you want to see this place continue. You want to continue to be able to get busy with your neighbor's wife. You want to continue to be able to eat all the abominations that you pack down your gullet. You want to continue to lead people down a false path. Be so-called influencers. But that's what's got us into the situation that we're in. Influencers.
Right. Just going back to what you said, I don't know what's wrong with Jake. Why did he want another man's woman? After that man just stuck his rod in her, now you want to stick your rod in right behind it?
Yeah.
that's disgusting, man.
You know, and some of you really nasty. You get the munching, you know, ew.
Crunching munch.
Munch, yeah, you know, you eating the nut, ew, ew. You know, when you really consider Jake's past habits, man, it's disgusting. It's perverted. It truly is Roman-ish. You know, that's the shit they had going on in Rome with the orgies and all that other shit.
Right. Just going back to how we have a covering, but not of my spirit. Man. They're covering over all these other the heathen nations, man, doing the same things of Babylon the Great, especially.
You know, and what's weird is that, you know, if Jake followed, well, you can't really hear in Rome because you can't have more than one wife. But instead of chasing some other man's wife, man, you could have, you know, and hell, if you move to Utah, you could do it. Because, I mean, how else are Mormons getting away with it? It's supposedly illegal, polygamy, but Mormons get away with it like, you know, to this day. What is it that they have that, you know what I mean, that says, yeah, they can do it? Well, you know, it's another one of those things with Esau. You know, what's good for him isn't good for you, but that's because he knows you actually procreate.
Well, they got them shows. I mean, I kind of, you know, I see my relatives watching it. You know, what Sister Wives and was it Sister Husband? Something like that. You know, all this is nasty, man.
You know, wife swap. You know, ew, man.
But that's the spirit that's here in Babylon the Great, man. The Lord said, I have put a perverse spirit, okay, and the Egypt errs in every way, man. Just paraphrasing it. Okay, going back with that Isaiah the 19th chapter. We don't got to get it, but that's the perverse spirit, okay, that's here in aka America, Babylon the Great. See, and that's what the prophets, okay, are out here, or the men of the Lord, okay, to bring out this, you know what, to condemn you damn wicked people, man. See, and go grab the book of Daniel, chapter 12, and go to the last 13, brother. Just because what? Because the Lord said, what, Daniel, you shall sleep and can be back in your lot. What does that mean?
Yeah, so when I was sitting there, it was Gary bring up.
Oh, okay.
But no, I was waiting. I saw it on the list. So I was like, nope.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is Daniel 12 and verse 13, and it reads. I was wondering if I should go up a little bit. I'll just get right to the point. But go thou thy way till the end be.
Music?
No, I'm just like
you want to read up? Read up, brother.
I'm just trying to see where I should start, where it doesn't occupy too much. Okay, I'll start at verse 9, if I may. And he said, go thy way, Daniel, for the words are closed up and sealed.
Right.
Till the time of the end.
Right. Look, that's very significant there. To the time of the end. So, you know, think about it. The truth is out. So what time are we in? We're at the time of the end, man.
Yeah. Many shall be purified and made white and tried, but the wicked shall do wickedly.
Right.
And none of the wicked shall understand.
Yeah, that's why you people can't understand that there's prophets again that have been raised up, man. That's why you can't understand that America, Babylon the Great is going to be destroyed. That's why you can't understand that what Esau is the so-called white man, man.
But the wise shall understand.
Right.
And from the time that the daily sacrifice shall be taken away, and the abomination that maketh desolate set up, there shall be 1,230 days. Blessed is he that waiteth and cometh to the 305 days.
Mm-hmm.
But go thou thy way till the end be, for thou shalt rest and stand in thy lot at the end of days. I mean, you know, hey, that's because that's reincarnation.
Mm-hmm.
Tell Daniel you're gonna go to sleep with your father.
Right.
You know, you're gonna come up here and rest, and then when you come back in that new vessel, you know, hey, you're going to see. You know, you're going to witness to this. Not only that, but Daniel was a prophet, so he's going to prophesy.
Right? It says you're standing on your lot in the end of the day. So, so what is Daniel doing today? He's a prophet.
He's
We don't
in his lot.
we don't know who he is, but he's here, man. We believe that through the Spirit that Daniel is back, man. Okay, and he's prophesying, you know, probably right now. you know?
Without a doubt, without a doubt.
I mean, like this minute. Yeah, let me grab this real quick. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 18. And I'm gonna start with verse 20. It says, "Rejoice over her, thou heaven, okay, and ye holy apostles and prophets, for the Most High have avenged you on her." Speaking of what? About the destruction of Babylon the Great, man, aka America. It says, "Rejoice." Okay, I'll keep reading because. Well, let me read that again. It says, "Rejoice over her, thou heaven, and ye holy apostles and prophets, for the Most High have avenged you on her." See that? So if the prophets are not back, okay, how are they going to rejoice over the destruction of Babylon the Great? Because that's what this is talking about. Okay, rejoice, man. So what's that mean? That means the prophets are back. Okay, they're back in their lots. Look, verse 21. It says, "And a mighty angel took a stone like a great millstone." Speaking of what? About the missiles. It says, "And cast it into the sea, saying, Thus with violence shall that great city Babylon be thrown down, and shall be found no more at all." That's going to be the destruction of Babylon the Great, man. It says rejoice over it. So how are the apostles, all the holy apostles and holy prophets going to rejoice if they're not back today? Okay, it just doesn't make sense.
Listen to that in Job, where it's standing his lot at the end of days.
Oh, I should see him in my flesh.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
While you're looking for that, I'll go ahead and jump down. I'll go ahead and go to Revelation, the 10th chapter. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 10, and verse 9. And it says, "And I went unto the angel, and said unto him, Give me the little book," speaking about the scriptures. Okay, this is speaking about John the Revelator. It says, "And he said unto me, Take it and eat it up, and it shall make thy belly better, and it shall be in thy mouth sweet as honey." Well, this is speaking about this truth. When you first realize you're an Israelite, hey man, yay, you know, this is for me. But
Hey,
once
mom,
you,
hey,
yeah,
dad, hey,
you want to tell
sisters.
everybody. You want to tell everybody.
We is Israelite.
That's right.
Shut up, boy.
But it said it's going to be a bitter in your belly. Once you come to the realization, and everything's fucked up, man. I mean, that's as plain as I can put it. Okay? It says, "And I took the little book out of the angel's hand and ate it up, and it was in my mouth sweet as honey. And as soon as I had eaten it, it was bitter. It was belly." Salakia. Got excited there.
Take your time.
"I had eaten it, my belly was bitter." See? Verse 11, it says, "And he said unto me," says, "Thou must prophesy again." What does again mean, man?
One more time.
And this is the John the Revelator. Okay, as far as the history goes, when he died on that island of Patmos, man, in the salt mines.
Yeah.
It says, "Before many peoples and nations and tongues and kings." Okay, what is that talking about? Okay, that John's got to come back and prophesy again. Just going back into what he's here, man.
And that definitely also lets you know that, you know, the prophets, man, they weren't no weak men.
No.
You know what I mean? Because he was an old man on them salt mines, and if you don't think they had him out there working, shit, the Romans didn't show no mercy.
Nah.
You know?
Nope, they sure did it. You find that in Job?
Let's see. This is Job, and it is 19, and I'm going to begin at 25, if I may. And it reads, "For I know that my Redeemer liveth, and that he shall stand in the latter day upon the earth." That's his second coming.
Right.
You know, hey, these words are true. Verse 26, "And though after my skin worms destroy this body, yet in my flesh shall I see the Most High,
Right. Right.
whom I shall see for myself, and mine eyes shall behold, and not another, though my reins be consumed within me.
Mm.
But ye should say, why persecute we him, seeing the root of the matter is found in me? Be ye afraid of the sword, for wrath bringeth the punishment of the sword, that ye may know there is a judgment.
Right.
Hey, you Israelites, you 2/3, you other nations, you know, hey, and you Edomites, there's a judgment coming, you know. And Esau, you know, hey, you wield that sword without mercy, you know. Hey, what is Cristobal Colon? He didn't put his sword down for what, 15 minutes?
An hour, I think.
An hour?
Yes, an hour.
And, hey,
Not for 1 hour.
you
My
know,
something like that.
so you know, yeah, that man was on a killing spree, you know, and his descendants, that spirit is just dormant in them, you know. It's not dissipated, you know.
Mm.
And that hour that he put his sword down, hey, them dogs was tearing shit up. You know, they brought war animals over here to deal with whom they knew they was coming to get after.
Right.
You know? So,
Right.
hey, that goes back to happy shall he be.
Right.
You know, because, you know, hey, we really don't know the full detail on everything, all the abominations that you was doing, you know, because I didn't even bring up slitting the mother's stomachs open and letting the babies, man.
Drop out.
Yeah. You don't think you got retribution? Hanging them by 13s, burning them up?
Mm.
You don't think that there's something coming for you people? You think all the atrocities and there's no vengeance coming after you?
But that's heavy than Joel, because it's telling you what, that he's back again, or he was back.
He is well.
Because what, you know, some might be in the spirit world, we know that, but we're gonna be the first ones coming back with Yahweh Shai. Okay, but he said, what, in my flesh I should see the Most High. What does that mean?
Yeah.
Reincarnation, man.
And he also says, and that he shall stand at the latter day.
Oh, then he's here.
You know, so
we're in the latter days.
Hey, we strongly believe that.
Yeah.
You know, anyway, you know, only the Most High knows exactly when he's coming, but we're not looking at no 10-year thing anymore. We're not looking at you know, hey, we know that the prayers are going up and the days are being hastened. You know, and we're praying that the days be hastened.
Right.
You know, anybody who can't see that a 24-hour period is no longer like it used to be is living under a rock. These days are coming and going.
Moving.
We're already at the 11th of this month.
I'm almost halfway through already.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, and I mean, all of the things that are happening that, you know, hey, if you're not part of this movement, you literally are ignorant to everything's happening because you're watching the local news, and this is the devil's witchcraft. He's keeping you as blind as humanly possible. You have no idea the things that are happening right now on this planet.
Right.
You just think, you know, it's a celebration, bitches. You know, you have no idea. You have no idea.
Grab that real quick, brother. Acts 1 and 6. Just to prove that hey, that the prophets they're back again, man. You know, so those that don't believe, okay, that the men of the Lord are out again, you know, raised up as prophets, hey, you're just mistaken, because you don't like what's coming out of the scriptures. Okay, you don't want to hear these things. Okay, you want to hear that what Jesus was everybody. Yeah, you know that he died for everybody, which is, man, the Bible doesn't say that at all.
This is Acts 1 and verse 6, and it reads, when they therefore were come together, they asked of him, saying, Lord, wilt thou at this time restore again the kingdom of Israel?
See, back then the apostles, they knew the scriptures, man. But they thought at that time, hey, the Lord came. They knew who he was, not, but he wasn't yet. It wasn't time yet, man. Because why? Because Rome point 2.0 had to be here, okay, which we're now in. Okay, the revised Roman Empire. Okay, at the time, the Romans were what in rulership at the time. Okay, but it wasn't time yet for them to go down, man. This is the time now.
They had to be put in chains for that 1,000 years.
Yeah.
Then they had to be loosed for a little while. There
Right.
were prophecies still
Right.
needing to be fulfilled.
Yep.
As now, there's still, there's a few prophecies needing to be fulfilled.
Right. What did Malachi say? It said we should build the desolate places.
Yeah.
The Lord said they shall build, but I will throw down.
You know.
So these things, the prophecies, we're not gonna just skip. Prophecies had to come forth, man.
No words of the Most High will go back to him void. Roughly prayer.
On.
So everything that he's spoken, it has to, it will, it has, it will, or what is it?
Coming.
Past, present,
Yep.
future.
It's coming.
Whatever he said, whether it was in the past, whether it's now, or whether it's in the future, it's going to be fulfilled. But hey, like Yahweh Shai said, you hypocrites, you can discern the signs of the weather, but you can't discern the signs of the time, roughly paraphrasing. Hey, if you can't, if you're lost in the fact of, there's always been earthquakes, there's always been
Right.
hurricanes. Well, the house of Israel hasn't always been in being brought back into fruition. I don't like using the woke thing because that's been hijacked. That woke thing has been hijacked from Israel waking up. So now it's clever to use it under all other kind of circumstances. But now when you put that salt in there, Israel waking up as your flavoring, now you see these great earthquakes. Now you see these volcano eruptions. Now you see these fires consuming everything.
You see what's happening in
Now you
Hawaii?
see, yeah. I mean, Hawaii. Do you see what's happening right here on this disgusting land? The temperatures, the storms, the destruction that's happening right here in the heart of Babylon.
The other day I was listening to a lesson, and I believe it was the brother Gabar Adama. He was saying that I guess Mount St. Helens underneath that there's enough molten lava that if it completely dispersed, that it would cover the whole United States.
Oh yeah,
a foot, man.
I wouldn't. Hey. That's Yellowstone, right?
I believe is that what it is?
If I'm not mistaken, then Yellowstone has been on alert status.
Or is that?
I think it is. I think
not Mount St. Helens. I know. Is that Mount St.? I don't know.
I don't know. I know Yellowstone has been on alert status for quite some time now.
Maybe
it's wrong. Been churning something terrible.
But we know it's there, man.
Yeah, it's not difficult in this time and age to figure out where is it. Let's see, Mount St. Helens.
But could you imagine that though?
Yeah.
A foot of molten lava covering the whole. Because that's when when these missiles hit, it's not going to just be the missiles. Okay, it's gonna be, you're gonna have earthquakes, okay, tidal waves, okay, all these so-called natural disasters, and you don't think that these volcanoes are gonna erupt, man? There's gonna be nowhere to go.
Yeah, no, that's it's in Washington. That's Yellowstone.
Is it Yellowstone?
Yeah, that's part of the Yellowstone.
Is it Mount St. Helens in Washington too?
Mount St. Helens is an active stratovolcano located in Skamania County, Washington, in the Pacific Northwest region of America.
Yeah.
And when was Mount St. Helens' last eruption? Is it still active again?
Well, Lord can make it active, man.
Oh yeah. Let me see something. Yellowstone.
Man, ain't gonna be nowhere for you people to go. Lord willing, we're not here. Lord willing, we're up in the chariots. That's what we're praying for. We don't want to be here amongst all that destruction. Find the brother.
What are the 3 super volcanoes?
Mm.
What state is Yellowstone volcano in? It's Wyoming. So Yellowstone is in Wyoming.
Mm.
But, here's the kicker. When them missiles hit, you don't think them volcanoes is going to erupt here?
Oh yeah.
All of that's, man, how you think this whole place is going to become that lake of fire like the scripture says? Between the oil pipelines running crisscrossing this place,
Mm.
the gas lines, the natural gas lines, the volcanoes, the natural seismic, what do they call that when the ground is always in
plates?
shifting? Yeah,
Plates.
they say Arizona is on one of them plates. People always used to make that joke when California fell into the ocean, Arizona would be beachfront property.
Los San Andreas fault.
Yeah, hey, this place is doomed.
Yeah, we're on the fault line.
Yeah,
I mean,
Yeah.
Arizona. I mean,
yeah, Arizona's on a fault line. So hey, we would have healed Babylon, but Babylon can't be healed.
mm-hmm.
And them volcanoes hey, they're going to. It's just a matter of when the Most High determines that it's going to happen. But this place is going to be, hey, like the prophets always say, it's going to be overkill, man.
Right. Oh, but there's no more prophets, bro.
Hey, for you 2/3 and you wicked ass pastors that's teaching that nonsense, hey, you're going to know that the prophet has been amongst you.
Hey, and you should want to hear. Don't you want to hear that this is coming? No, they don't want to hear it.
No, because what did the prophets always bring? Lamentations, mournings, and woe. Do you come in peace? You acting a fool. You being irreverent. You not following the law, statutes, and commandments. Hell no, the prophets ain't coming in peace. I always say too. You crucified Yahushua. You hated him so bad you crucified him, and then you raised up to yourselves cheesy rice, whom you love indiscriminately. Cheesy rice can do no wrong. Cheesy rice say you can come as you are and stay as you are.
It gives you a license to sin.
Right. Because he is sin. The devil is sin. Shit.
We'll grab this and grab a couple more. Because let me see how much time I got on this thing here. Yeah, because there's not that much room on that phone there.
Acts 1 to 7? Is that what we keep going on?
Yeah. So read down to 8.
Come. So this is Acts 1 and continuing on at verse 7, and it reads, "And he said unto them, It is not for you to know the times or the seasons which the Father hath put in his own power."
Right, just going back, and they were just nagging him, man. What, you gonna restore the kingdom back to Israel?
Are we
It's
there
back
yet?
to Israel.
Are we there yet? Are we there yet?
See, that's the key. That's the key. It's back to Israel,
Yeah.
not to the whole world. They knew back then, man.
There also had to be that falling away.
Right.
We had to go into that full on, captivity and tribulation.
Yep. Loss of the heritage of Israel.
Yeah.
Not knowing who we were for that 350 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All of that had to transpire. All of the words had to come into fruition.
Guess what? Elijah the prophet was raised up again. Who you people? Yeah, they deny it. Though. They don't want.
Hey, because they, it's easier for them not to believe.
Right.
Until it's time to believe, and then it's gonna be too late.
The scripture says there is nothing impossible with the Most High. But why? So they say that about this carnal things. But what about this, man?
Yeah.
That's in the scriptures. Yeah, you don't believe that?
Jake believe in deja vu. Where you swear that you've been here or you've been in a certain situation, but you don't understand. And that's because hey, again, you're being blinded.
Oh yeah.
Verse 8, "But ye shall receive power after that the Holy Spirit is come upon you, and ye shall be witnesses unto me both in Jerusalem and in Judea and in Samaria, and unto the uttermost parts of the earth.
So from there, okay, what's the uttermost part of the earth? Right here, man. In America, Babylon the Great, aka America. Says he's saying you must what testify again of me, right? That's what he said. I don't want to misquote it.
But what part were you?
You must to preach again
Uh,
or testify again.
and ye shall be witnesses unto
See,
me.
witnesses. What's a witness?
Man, I saw it.
Yeah.
I was there. I saw it. Hey, because 9 and 10, you know, I watched him go up in that chariot.
Mm.
You know, hey, I just want to. Can I keep going?
Yeah.
Can I keep going? Because you know, hey, and this is relevant to what's going on right now in the world today. And I'll keep going from where I just dropped off. You shall be witnesses unto me both in Jerusalem
Right.
and in Judea
Right.
and in Samaria
Right.
and unto the uttermost parts of the earth. And when he had spoken these things, while they beheld, he was taken up, and a cloud received him out of their sight.
Mm.
You know, and that's not a puffy nimbus cloud.
Mm.
You know, that was a chariot.
Right.
You know,
Mhm.
and while they looked steadfastly towards heaven as he went up, behold, 2 men stood by them in white apparel. You know, hey, those are the grays. You know, I'm being facetious, but you know, hey, we know they were the angels of the Lord.
Right.
You know, you people know them as the gray or the big head green, but you at some point it's gonna be revealed to you your BS.
Right.
You know?
And the angels are revealing themselves, man. More and more. That's why the government can no longer hide that there's you know, vehicles out there. They call them what, UAPs,
Right.
so-called UFOs. They can't deny it no more.
You know, and the story right now is somewhere in Peru that
Right,
they was
that.
putting hands and feet on people. You know, getting your ass handed to you down there. But verse 11, which says, which also said, ye men of Galilee, why stand ye gazing up into heaven? The same Yahushua, which is taken up from you unto heaven, shall so come in like manner as ye have seen him go into heaven.
Right.
So that same chariots, you know, and this time, you know, I mean, we don't know how big the chariot was, but it says in like manner, so it may have, well, I don't think it was that the same chariot because, you know, hey, man, it would have been difficult to hide that. But it was a cloud. So,
yeah, this time
you know, he may have been in that same ship, but it was just disguised, you know, as a massive cloud up there. So the world, because, I mean, everybody would have seen it, you know. Everybody would have bore witness to the mountain-sized chariot.
Right, and this time it says every eye shall see.
But if you look at that cloud right there, that cloud is like the size of a mountain.
Right.
You know, a small mountain, but a mountain nevertheless. So, yeah, that could have been somewhere, you know, like this whole, But this time when he comes, man, it's not going to be cloaked in that cloud-like atmosphere, you know. So that's going to put y'all people's fear factor up to 1,000.
Right.
You know, it's going to be, man, hey, rocks, fall on me. Get these storm doors closed, because, hey, judgment is getting ready. Man, judgment is going to rain down on this place like nobody's business.
Right. Yeah, but they don't want to hear it. That's why they don't want to believe that the prophets are here again. That's why they deny the fact, that the prophets have been raised up again. Yeah. They don't want to hear that. They want this damn wicked kingdom to continue. That's all they want.
And it takes a level of ignorance and stupidity that can only be brought upon from adulthood. Because as a child, when you was told, man, I'm gonna tell you a new one, there was a fear there. You know, but when you get to be an adult and the prophets is telling you the Most High is getting ready to tell you a new one, there's no fear. You have it's as if you've forgotten what chastisement is like, you know, and in this world you really have. You know, chastisement is frowned upon. It's looked at as an evil thing. You know?
Right. like I said, but the main point that I wanted to point out was that since the uttermost part, man.
Yeah.
So right now the prophets are here again in Babylon the Great. Yeah, they're all over the world. Okay, because the elect are going to be gathered from the what? What's Matthew?
4 corners.
Yeah, from the 4 winds. Yeah, Matthew 24 and 31. See, we know that, but the majority, the bulk is here in America, Babylon the Great. Okay, let's get a couple more, brother, and we'll close out. Grab a First Corinthians 14 and 32, and then hold Ecclesiasticus 36 and 15 and 16, and we'll read those.
This is 1 Corinthians 14 and verse 32, and it reads, "And the spirits of the prophets are subject to the prophets."
See, so what does that mean? That means the same spirits that were back then, okay, are the same spirit that's in these vessels today, man. But doing the same thing, standing in their lot, man.
Hey, as 33 reads, "For the Most High is not the author of confusion,
right,
but of peace, as in all the churches of the saints." So the Most High is not going to create confusion. He's not going to put that spirit in some vessel that is,
right.
You know what I mean? That same spirit's going to come back again and again and again, and it's going to prophesy the same words again and again and again. You know, it may bring them into a modern terminology, but you're still going to get the crux of the same message.
Right.
You know, repent, fear God, give him the glory, keep the commandments. You know, the message is always going to stay the same.
Hey, let me grab this.
Keep going?
No, that's good. Okay. Let me grab this. Just go to Ecclesiastes, Rock 36, 15 and 16, and I'm going to grab this real quick. This is the book of Amos, chapter 3, verse 7. It says, "Surely the Lord power will do nothing, but he revealeth his secret unto his servants, the prophets." See, that's how you know the men of the Lord, okay, have this wisdom and knowledge and understanding. Scripture says what? Jeremiah 3:15, I will raise up pastors according to my heart that would teach you wisdom and understanding, or knowledge and understanding. Go out. Turn back on.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
There's not much left of it though.
No.
Yeah, so I mean, the Lord does nothing but he reveals to his secrets to prophets, man, and that's his truth that's coming out from the scriptures, man. So you have an unction from the Holy One, and you know all things. Does that mean we know everything? No, that means that we know everything according to what the scriptures say. Okay, beginning what we've been taught, okay, from our elders and our apostles and our elders, okay, and men on down. Grab that, brother, unless you got something else, and then we'll just close out with that one.
No, this is Ecclesiasticus 36, starting at verse 15, and it reads, "Give testimony unto those that thou hast possessed from the beginning."
Oh, from when? From the beginning.
From the beginning.
Meaning what? There was Yahweh Shai, okay, before everything was created, man, before the foundation of the earth. Okay, those spirits. Okay, the first fruits.
Yeah, because now we are now under the understanding we know who helped Yahweh Shai create.
Right.
You know? Man, that's 2, 3, 40 right there.
Right. Well, the scripture says there's no remembrance of former things.
No.
So those who were there, whoever they may be, hey, they're not going to remember.
No.
Imagine that just bug you out.
Yeah. How many? Yeah, because to see the destruction that's taking place, and knowing that you were part of, you know, hey, but that's going to be given back to you in the kingdom. You know, man. Ooh-wee. And keep it continuing on from the beginning, and raised up prophets that have been in thy name.
See, raise up prophets. That's why the men of the Lord or the prophets have been raised up again. Again, whether we be them or not, we're hopeful. Okay, but what we're doing the work. Okay, it's our reasonable service. Okay, Lord willing, we be amongst that number. Okay.
And this the first part of this 16 is for you riverboat lovers. Reward them that wait for thee. Don't let what happens, you know, get you too excited.
Right.
You know.
A chair.
Right. We're waiting on Yahushua to rise up to this prey.
Right.
You know. Don't. Because if you don't think, Salakia, but if you don't think Esau is preparing you a special, you know what I mean? You blacks is on your little personal high right now. You better settle down and pay attention. Esau don't like having his ass handed to him, and then being made a mocking. You know.
Well, that's it's in the scriptures. Who shall rouse them up, man?
Yeah.
You know, so the time's gonna come, man. These race wars, race riots, they're coming.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's gonna come a time and they're gonna say shoot anything that's darker than a brown paper bag, man.
And this is what I'm saying. Jake ain't gonna be ready for the retribution that comes behind, the actions that are being taken.
Right.
Jake all on social media and these so-called Edomites that's glorifying with y'all. They not gonna be on your team when they constituents, get that bug up their ass, and are ready to show you what's what.
Right. You really think an Edomite's gonna take your side at that day? Hell no. They're gonna show us horns.
Damn right. So just continuing on.
Off.
Reward them that wait for thee, and let thy prophets be found faithful.
See, and that's what we're praying for, man. Because what these words are faithful and true, man. So the Lord has raised up prophets, okay, and they're bringing us the truth, okay. And those that deny it, hey, I mean, what can we tell you, man? You're just gonna be destroyed. That's as simple as it gets. Take heed to the words that are coming out from the men of the Lord, or be destroyed. That's it. There's no in between.
No gray area.
No.
No 50 shades of gray.
No. So, points been made. We brought out, a ton of scriptures. Okay, points been made. So, that Pastor Terry Anderson, I believe his name, but all Christians, all Christianity, for the most part, think that way, man. They don't believe that they believe they're the men of the Lord. Okay, they eat their damn pork and going against the law, statutes, commandments, say they've been done away with, but yet they're the men of the Lord.
Yeah. If I would say anything, when you come across a clean shaven, smooth face, pork chop eating, prophet denying preacher,
run away from him.
Run away from him, because he's leading you astray willingly.
Right.
That 501c3 that's working with him working with it, man, it's not for your good.
Right. Anything else, brother? All right. Well, Lord willing, this lesson, you can close out, brother. This lesson was edifying.
In closing, we want to start out by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Makakadash. Double honors, as always, to the prophets and the apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. There was not a slip of the tongue when I said to the prophets and the apostles of Great Millstone.
Did you say that?
Yeah, no, that was not a slip. Not a Freudian. That was meant. I meant to say it. Shalom.
Shalom.